Hi everyone, welcome to TNT, and we've had a bit of rain over the weekend. As you can see, the pools are right up to the brim there, so going to have to drain some of that out today. Looks like the wet season may have started. Certainly we've had a few days of rain down here in the south and in other parts of Thailand, and we've got a report coming up about the start of the wet season. Well, welcome to TNT. Thank you for joining us on the first day of the week. A bit of a wet Monday here in Phuket, and we'll get to the predictions of the Thai Meteorological Department pertaining to the wet season for 2023 a little bit later in the program. But a bit of a potpourri. We will give you a bit of an election update later in the program, but we'll start with this, and this is in relation to that boat incident in Chalong Bay last Wednesday. Phuket Immigration gave them a bit of a visit. Phuket Immigration visited foreign tourists who have been injured from a recent tour boat crash and offered visa extension assistance. In total, 35 people were injured, which included Russians, Ukrainians, Kazakhstani, Hong Kong nationals, Chinese and Thais after the tour boat crashed into a pillar in Chalong. And as we saw at that time, that boat was extensively damaged, and a boat captain has been charged with reckless behaviour causing injuries after those 35 people were injured. And for their part, Phuket Immigration visited the foreign tourists at various hospitals. Hospital staffers have been informed that if the foreign tourists from the accident had to stay in hospitals, Phuket Immigration can provide visa extension services for them if needed. The Phuket immigration officials also expressed their sympathy for the plight of the tourists and wished for them to get well soon. Here's some photos. This is from the Phuket Immigration Facebook page, and they're checking the documents of some of these visitors to see if they can help them with their extensions. Standing there politely, surprised they're not pointing at the patient. And I think these photos all been taken at the Bangkok Hospital, Phuket, in the Samkong area. Reason for my cynicism is that according to a source, one person was found on overstay, but the situation was fixed up. So good for them. Let's move on to our next story now, and this is from the National News Bureau. It says that the rainy season in Thailand officially starts this week. Not only this week, but today. The Meteorological Department has reported that the rainy season in the country will officially start today. The precipitation is forecast to be 5% lower than the seasonal average, but it says the heavier downpours will be expected in August and September before concluding in mid-October. Certainly down here in the south, that September-October time is when we do get our heaviest rain. Different parts of the country get their monsoon at different times. As I mentioned, I think on Saturday's program, places like Samui get their monsoon or their wettest weather in November and December each year. The story goes on to say that residents are advised to plan their daily commute and trips accordingly and remember to carry a raincoat and umbrella. I've always said to people who have talked about moving to Thailand that except maybe Bangkok, otherwise you will probably need a motorbike just to get around short trips and also a car if you want a level of independence. The car for this time of the year when, it does get wet. Our next story takes us to Chiang Mai, reported by nationthailand.com. And Chiang Mai residents fear an ancient gate with ruptured wall will topple. And the Chiang Mai Provincial Administration ordered relevant agencies to speed up the restoration to prevent the brick wall of the ancient Suan Dock Gate from collapsing after local residents expressed fears about a massive crack in the wall. Of course, these walls are very, very old indeed. How old, we'll find out a little bit later. And the earth from time to time moves around a bit, and these old walls will crack from time to time. Now, the Fine Arts Office has developed a plan to restore the gate, but the work should be accelerated as local residents are worried that the wall might collapse onto the adjacent road in the city district. A 2-metre vertical crack is on the north side of the gate. And then I just saw the next line that said, "Wide people can see through it." Well, no, you've got to read the rest of the sentence. The gap in the crack is so wide, people can see through it to the other side of the wall. There's a good photo there of this particular crack that's developing, and I suppose if it's not stopped somehow, that it will probably continue to widen. And the director of the ancient ruins of the 7th Fine Arts Office said his agency always inspects ancient sites in Chiang Mai and is certain the crack will not cause the wall to collapse. He said his team spotted the crack last year and assessed that it posed no danger. And it's one of 5 ancient gates in Chiang Mai. It was built during the reign of King Mengray in 1296 AD. And the ancient gates and walls were restored in 1818. The ancient gates of Chiang Mai were registered as National Historical Sites in 1935. Well, I'm pretty sure with all the modern technology and engineering, they'll find a way to make sure that gap doesn't get any worse. Now, with 5 Star Marine, who have sponsored us for, well, since the start of the program, they've now got a link, which is in the description in this video. And if you click on that link and you make a booking when you're next in Phuket and like to head out to one of the islands, they'll give you free transfers. In other words, they'll pick you up from your hotel and take you back when you do a trip with 5 Star Marine. This discount will change from time to time, but that's the current offering. So there is a link in the description that will take you straight to a page where you can make a booking and have a talk to Sean and the team. Now, thank you to 5 Star Marine for their ongoing support. Checking in now with the latest in the Cyanide case, and this story just gets bigger and bigger. And Nation Thailand reporting that police seek arrest warrant for a new associate of Cyanide Am. Investigators have uncovered another associate of the suspected cyanide killer and will seek an arrest warrant for the person today. The Deputy National Police Chief said on Saturday that an unidentified person was allegedly involved in destroying evidence related to the murder of Siraporn. Now, Siraporn was the first case where police were able to find out about this potential serial killer, and the case has developed since that. And Surachat added that Sararat is free to file lawsuits against victims' families and police investigators as she's threatened, though it's up to the court to decide if it wants to accept the lawsuits. She said she'll sue police investigators for pushing to get her unfairly punished. And Sararat was arrested by police on April the 25th in Bangkok over alleged links to the cyanide poisoning of at least 14 victims. Sararat apparently knew the victims well, and they had either loaned her money or invested money through her in various questionable schemes. And the case came to light after the death of Siraporn, who was reported to have travelled to Ratchaburi to release fish in the Mekong River with the suspect in a merit-making ritual. And she collapsed at the pier, and her body was sent to the Police General Hospital's Institute of Forensic Medicine for an autopsy, which confirmed the presence of cyanide. So that story just keeps developing, and currently 14 people now connected as potential victims of that person who's been nicknamed Am Cyanide. I should also just apologise, I've got a bit of red eye here today. With this wet weather also comes my itchy eyes and running nose. So on to the antihistamines for the next few months here in Phuket. So apologise if the red eye is showing up at all today. A bit of election news update now, and we go to bangkokpost.com. Move Forward Party allies to sign deal. No urgency, though, on the Les Majestes change, according to a source. And 8 prospective coalition parties will sign a memorandum of understanding today. The controversial topic of revising the Section 112, also known as the Les Majestes laws, which involve defamation of His Majesty the King or all members of the royal family, which was a key pledge of the Move Forward Party, is expected not to be included in the MOU. Strategically, I would say probably a smart thing to do. The parties which are part of the Move Forward Party coalition will meet at the Conrad Bangkok Hotel today, and there's a list of the parties involved. And according to a Move Forward Party source, issues relating to Section 112, also known as the Les Majestes law, will not be included in the Memorandum of Understanding because the party's coalition partners are still divided on the matter. The Move Forward Party-led bloc has a combined 313 MPs under its wing as of, well, today. Now, so that 313 number still falling short of the total 376 votes it will need in a joint sitting in Parliament, but we're still, well, at least 6, 7 or even 8 weeks away from that vote happening. And plenty more water to go under that bridge. A bit further down, the Memorandum of Understanding will map out guidelines for collaboration among coalition partners and address national, political, economic and social crises. Details of the MOU are expected to be outlined today, and I bet there'll be a lot of senators who'll be poring over those outlines. I'm sure we'll have more to report on that tomorrow. But in another piece of news, this reported in Khaosod English on their Facebook page on the weekend. It said ousted and fugitive former Premier Thaksin Shinawatra tweeted late on Saturday night denying that he's been meeting senior members of the Prayut Chan-o-cha caretaker government to cook up an alternative plan for a new government coalition in Hong Kong. He said, "I'm in Dubai. I have no plans to go to Hong Kong," tweeted Thaksin, who's widely regarded as the de facto leader of the Pheu Thai party. Rumours spread that Pheu Thai may be attempting to form its own coalition as the Move Forward party continues to struggle to gain the 376 votes needed to make the party leader Pita the Prime Minister. I'm sure we're going to keep on hearing rumours over the next few weeks. That's just the latest. But it does seem that the Move Forward party is taking the front foot and, well, moving forward. Another part of the election update, and from the BangkokPost.com, the Election Commission looking into Peter's shareholdings. The Election Commission is expected to rule on whether the Move Forward leader, Peter, was eligible to run in the election due to his ownership of shares in a media company. A rival lawmaker said the shares were not declared to the authority before he was sworn in as an MP in the 2019 election. Now, a source said the Commission is in the middle of examining a petition filed by a member of the Palang Pracharat Party who reported Mr. Peter to the poll agency for failing to declare his ownership of 42,000 shares in ITV, a registered media company to the NACC, before he took office as an MP back in 2019. The shares are valued at 5 baht apiece. But Mr. Peter previously said he does not own the shares as he inherited them from his father. I thought that probably means the same thing. The shares were listed under his name as he was appointed the executor of his late father's estate. He explained the matter to the poll body before he was sworn in. The law prohibits shareholders in media firms from becoming MPs, and the complainant said that even though ITV has ceased operations, it retains its functions as a media company. Not exactly sure how that works, but here's some more dubious matters on this story. Now the election has concluded, the Election Commission has no legal basis to remove a candidate or MP-elect, according to the source. Also, Section 82 of the Constitution says the Election Commission could strip anyone of their status as MP only after the case has been referred to the Constitutional Court. And down the bottom there, since Mr. Peter has not been officially endorsed as an MP following the latest election, the Commission must wait until after it's confirmed Mr. Peter before it can apply the section. So not exactly sure where that's going to go. Some days I wake up and think, oh yes, he's got this sorted out. Other days I wake up thinking, oh, it's just not going to work. But it seems, at least on that ruling, that they're going to have to wait until the Election Commission officially announces the results of the election, and that's weeks away. And on another matter from Thai PBS World, Thai establishment activists plan a rally tomorrow to pressure the Senate. The United Front of Thammasat and Demonstration, which is affiliated with the Ratsadon anti-establishment group, and these were the student groups which were leading a lot of the rallies back in 2020 and 2021. And they're urging members of the public to rally in front of the Thai Parliament on Tuesday at 5 p.m. to put pressure on the Senate not to vote against Move Forward Party's Peter as Thailand's 30th Prime Minister. And a bit further down, the 2017 Constitution involves the 250 unelected senators in the selection process for a Prime Minister. And a spokesperson for the protesters said it appears that some senators do not agree with the aspirations of the people, and they're ready to negate the People's Choice Prime Minister and stop change by all means. So that will be a protest tomorrow afternoon outside the front of the Thai Parliament building. Let's hope it remains peaceful. And just finally, a different story here from Toronto's Star. Not Thailand anymore. Russians are flocking to the resort island, but not all is well in paradise. So maybe an interesting international perspective on what's happening as far as Russian tourists are concerned arriving in Phuket. And the story says that it's no wonder that Russians facing travel restrictions to most of the rest of the world are flocking to Thailand with its fine white sands, stunning landscapes and rich culture. The land of 1,000 smiles has much to offer. Paradise seekers, never mind those fleeing a tightening autocracy, economic downturn and war. The Thai island of Phuket expects to welcome 1 million Russians this year. That would have been true if the numbers that were arriving during, say, November and December continued, but the number of daily Russians arriving on the island of Phuket at the moment is dropping very quickly. And the article says some are escaping the dim of winter, some are dodging the draft, others are buying local property as a ticket to a new life. But the influx of Russians since the Thai foreign minister visited Moscow and direct flights resumed in October is a conundrum for Phuket, which depends on tourism for 90% of its economy. I would probably say more. And it's still struggling to recover after the deadly 2004 tsunami and COVID-19 travel bans. Well, as far as 2004 tsunami is concerned, we need to remember that the last 5 years of Phuket tourism leading up to COVID-19 in 2020 were the busiest that Phuket ever had. So it certainly had recovered from the tsunami. Although many Russian visitors are terrified young men, according to the article, there are tensions simmering between visiting Russians and other residents. And the story goes on saying Russians in Phuket are known for their bad behaviour, according to Stefan Zik, the manager of a large hotel off the coast of Phuket. Now, he knows how to make friends and influence people. Drunkenness, debauchery, violence and traffic accidents are rife in the Russian-occupied zones of the island, he alleged. So that's the sort of quote that's going to get in a story like this, isn't it? Nurses at the hospital in Patong, a popular Russian destination on the island, said they're seeing increasing numbers of people suffering from alcohol poisoning and involved in traffic accidents. Russians topped the lists of arrests in Phuket for crimes including theft, recklessness causing death, and drug smuggling, according to the provincial police reports in local media. And just finally, the surge of Russian arrivals is putting pressure on the prices of real estate, motorbikes and cars on the island. Local schools have filled to capacity. Well, all those things are correct. Almost all condo sales a bit further down there are to Russians, according to reports, and many are purchasing hotels, restaurants, souvenir shops and other tourism-related businesses. And on goes this article, wildly exaggerated in many cases, although there's a kernel of truth in a lot of what they're saying. If you get one particular nationality really dominating the tourism numbers in any part of Thailand, of course it's going to feature in crime, it's going to feature in traffic accidents, real estate sales. So I think there's another side to this story, but I'll put a link to that article from, the Toronto Star in the description of this video. Along with that link to the 5-star Marine discount, well, it's an offer whereby you're going to get a free pickup to and from your accommodation by 5-star Marine. So please click on that. I've done a little video for them. Have a read up about 5-star Marine. They've been a great supporter of the program and they'd appreciate your support as well. That's all I've got in my kit for today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date on your Monday. Have a fantastic day. Don't get too wet and we'll see you tomorrow.